Until then, Christina, the stage is yours.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you very much for allowing me to be here tonight with you all. And this is a new piece that I've started working on, and I'm in a class with Jane, actually, which is wonderful and helping me with my writing a great deal. I highly recommend it. And this piece is called Crackheads, and I'm just going to get started. The year I turned 40, my body started to demand maintenance in inconvenient ways and at inconvenient times. In the first staff meeting of 2013, I had a gallbladder attack. Abdominal pain so intense, beads of sweat formed on my upper lip. I felt as if I were being eviscerated from the inside out. I pressed my lips together in a thin smile at my work nemesis seated across the conference room. We'd been hired at the same time, same level, and climbed the corporate ladder side by side for the last decade. But now, we were both vying for the same administrative promotion. I fidgeted with every guttural cramp, yet I survived that meeting. The appointment with the gastroenterologist recommended some surgical restoration for this 40-year-old vintage model from the 70s that I call my body. After some uncomfortable probing of my softer-than-it-used-to-be belly, the doc says, "Seems like it's your gallbladder." Well, what's the course of action? "We can remove your gallbladder." Remove it? I'm pretty sure I'm using it. Well, with no help from the doctor, I hit the internet for a cure. Diet, exercise, lose weight. On it. I hit exercise classes 3 days a week. I walk the rec trail to the dunes every day. I'm sweating. I'm struggling. I'm starving 24/7. But it does not feel like I'm walking around with a dagger in my diaphragm, so there's a trade-off. I dragged my husband along on these walks into the gym because we had learned a long time ago from a wise prophet named Chris Rock, you might have heard of him, that two crackheads could stay together forever, but if one of them finds Jesus, it's all over. So we became walking crackheads, walking 5 miles a day. So the fact that I came home from work one day to commence our 5-mile evening walk, to have my husband tell me he wanted to walk 500 miles, is clearly and entirely all my fault. We are the kind of couple that wrote our own marriage vows. We had vowed to dream each other's dreams. Vowing to be crackheads together just didn't have the same ring to it. So I was completely thrown off with my husband's exuberance. The last time I saw my husband this excited was the day he bought his nice Porsche 914. I don't hold it against him that he was not that cheery on our wedding day. Weddings are stressful. So is having your work nemesis being selected for the promotion over you. But I would fume about that later. Right now, my typically stoic husband was joyous. I'm going to walk Camino. I did not know what Camino was, but as I said, we vowed to dream each other's dreams. Okay, we're going to walk Camino. On our evening walk, my husband explained Camino is a Catholic pilgrimage to a holy city. I'm not Catholic, not practicing anyways. You know how it is with Easter and Christmas Catholics? Well, I was not even one of those. My husband's Protestant upbringing was about as far from Catholic as anyone could be. As Chris Rock would say, he'd found Jesus. So I either find Jesus with him and embark on this Catholic pilgrimage, or... The Camino Frances started on the French-Spanish border of a small village called Saint-Jean-Pied-de-Port. The trail commences directly up and over the Pyrenees Mountains, across northern Spain, and culminates at the Cathedral of Santiago de Compostela. The route has been walked for 1,000 years by priests, monks, nuns, sinners seeking forgiveness, noblemen seeking a holy indulgence to lessen their time in purgatory, and regular people who have heard the call to walk. Aside from getting to the French border, one must commit at least a month to walk 15 miles a day. And if you cannot walk 15 miles a day, you'll need to allot more time to complete the 500 miles. This does not account for any leisure days to enjoy this foreign land, nor rest days required to recover from possible and likely injury. The trail is marked by yellow arrows or scallop shells. The path changes, so maps may not be reliable. This was a lot to take in. I shared that I did not get the promotion. I needed to process one grief at a time. I wanted to be happy, but Camino felt daunting. I wanted to share in his excitement, but I was afraid. I wanted my husband to feel supported, so I held in my doubts. Instead, I increased my pace up the dunes. I stomped about careless in the sand. I stared out over a deep blue sea in the fading light of an already set sun. I used the wind in my face as escape from conversation. I clomped down the dunes to the gravel path until my body decided to chime in again. Not a sound you want to hear coming from your knee, or any part of your body for that matter. Really, body, we declare that we're going to walk 500 miles, so you say now's a good time for that patella to slip out. Great. That's it.
That's awesome. You know what? I have to admit right now that I always thought it was you that was the driving force to that walk.
No. I was pretty terrified of it. And I was not in the physical shape, as you could see, to take on such a journey.
I've known you for a while. You always looked like you were in pretty good shape.
Oh, thank you.
And I loved the stories about the walk themselves and the photos and the images. And so I'm excited that you're writing about it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And thanks for sharing it with us.